huge win for Alabama over rival Tennessee on Saturday, the third Saturday in October. And Ty Simpson, quarterback Ty Simpson, now tracking as a Heisman finalist. Things are rolling in the right direction, and we got some Bama developments to cover. Steve, we talked a lot about who Alabama is going to focus in on at quarterback, and now coming out of the weekend, they are trending for 2 elite quarterbacks in the 2027 cycle. How did it go down over the weekend?
Yeah, both on campus to watch Alabama get another step closer towards their goal, SEC championship game, college football playoff, ultimately competing for a national championship. And that's what Trent Seaborn and Elijah Haven want to do on the next level. Play at the highest level, play for a coaching staff that can get the best out of them, play in the biggest games and win at that level. And for Trent Seaborn, he was at the win over Vanderbilt, returns for the win over Tennessee. And I think he is trending towards being one of the next prospects to commit to Alabama, regardless of class, sees the offense as a perfect fit for him to come in and distribute the ball to the playmakers and be efficient. And then Elijah Haven, the number 1 ranked quarterback in the country per the Rivals industry, was trending towards Florida coming into the season. But obviously, Coach Billy Napier got let go yesterday. But even before the visit, with the Gator struggles and Alabama success, the relationship with the Tide staff, this was a return trip to Tuscaloosa, the way they developed the likes of Michael Penix, Ty Simpson, players of that magnitude. They see it as a place where Elijah could really, really flourish. And Alabama is leading for him. As Sam Spiegelman first reported, he will be back for the LSU game. He plans to commit in the new year. But right now, Alabama is winning this recruitment, and it is up to the other contenders to change that narrative.
Yeah, and I would say 3-4 weeks ago, Trent Seaborn was probably trending to Miami. Elijah Haven, like you said, I thought when he made that visit, what was it, like week 2 or 3 to Gainesville? I thought he was going to commit on that trip, but obviously things have gotten away from Billy Napier and the Florida Gator program this season, and now trending to Alabama. So, Steve, if it works out the way that you think it's going to work, they would sign 2 quarterbacks in this class?
Yeah, I think that when you kind of look at the way their depth chart is shaping up, they could use 2 quarterbacks in this cycle, and these are 2 guys that they're very high on. I honestly think Seaborn was always trending Alabama with the Crimson Tide being on the gas there. And then Haven is a guy that they've liked for a while. I've gotten to campus before. And Simpson is someone that could go on to win the Heisman Trophy and be the first quarterback to hear his name called in the upcoming NFL draft if he chooses to come out early. Then you have 5-star Keelan Russell competing with transfer Austin Mack. It's hard to imagine a situation where they're both in the program together down the road. You obviously have the 2 incoming freshmen, Taden Kawa and Jet Tamala, who took his official visit over the weekend. So your quarterback room could be looking real young, real quick next year, but also very talented, to use the word stacked. And these are 2 guys that meet the standard that they're looking for. They have the intangibles, the way that they completed at a high percentage, both at over 70% in their junior seasons. They're both winners, have played in some of the biggest games in their respective state. And then they're talented guys that could come in and push the likes of Keelan Russell, push the likes of Jet Tamala and Taden Kawa. And so they're leading right now for both of them. And when you're choosing a place like Alabama, the logo, you know there's going to be major competition, whether that's in front of you, behind you. You bet on yourself. And Kalen DeBoer, Coach Grubbs, Coach Sheridan, those are guys that these guys feel like can pull the best out of them, and the chips will fall where they fall. Trent Seaborn trending heavily to Alabama. Haven leaning towards Alabama right now, but his recruitment still got some time, some visits. Auburn is in the mix. Certainly we'll see what happens at Florida moving forward and the new coaching staff that they get in place. Same with Penn State. Those were 2 programs that he's visited this fall that have since had coaching changes. LSU will always remain one of the front runners, local program as well. But I like where Alabama stands for both of these young men.
Yeah, really interesting, and not a bad problem to have if you're an Alabama fan. Just bring in the best arms we can find in the entire country and let them figure it out. Seems like a good strategy if you can do it. Alabama is. There was a major flip coming out of the weekend on Sunday evening, Edge Corey Howard, who we previewed all week heading into this visit weekend. Corey Howard was previously committed to Georgia. How did Alabama flip him on Sunday?
Well, got him to campus a couple times this fall, but got him in a great environment, got him around a coaching staff that he loves, and he loves the tradition and track record of this program in general. Says it reminds him a lot of Valdosta and the culture that he's in there, and just another experience around this staff for a great game, great rivalry win. He is now in the fold for Alabama, a class that ranks number 7 nationally.
Could there be more flips coming for Alabama, Steve?
Well, they're hoping so. One target that they're heavy on is rivals 300 receiver Ja'Sir Rogers. He's committed to Penn State, but the door is open for a few programs since James Franklin was fired. He's also looking at Oklahoma, and he's also looking at Nebraska, but there's some positive buzz about Alabama coming into his official visit for the LSU game. And if Alabama can go out and take care of LSU on the field, this is a guy that Kalen DeBoer, Jamarcus Shepard and company are on the gas for on the recruiting trail, and this thing is starting to trend up in the recruitment of Ja'Sir Rogers.
All right, so those are 2026 prospects. Let's flip back to the 2027 class, where Alabama is working toward a top 3 class, currently sitting at number 4. But Steve, who else is Alabama in good shape with when it comes to 2027?
Well, quite a few guys. Let's just focus on the wide receiver position for this episode. Monshon Sales, number 3 receiver in the country out of Indianapolis. I think that Alabama continues to set the pace in his recruitment. You also have Ohio State heavy, was just at Notre Dame for the second time this fall, visited Michigan on Saturday as well, Texas A&M, Miami, Oregon, Indiana, some of the other contenders. But I think it starts with Alabama at this point in his process. I also think Alabama leads for Louisville 4-star receiver Jahide Brown. He's camped in Tuscaloosa. He visited for a game this fall. Indiana is the other front runner, but I would give the edge to Alabama right now. On Saturday, they offered the number 5 receiver in the country, Keyshawn Bowman from Brentwood Academy in Tennessee. He had a fantastic visit. Alabama has jumped into the forefront of this recruitment as they battle the likes of Tennessee, Ole Miss, LSU, Ohio State, Oregon, to name a few others. But Alabama, the way they're recruiting under Coach DeBoer and this staff, the way they're playing on the field, Alabama's a program that you would say is a good bet to finish with the top 5 class next cycle. And they're close to hitting a grand slam at quarterback, trending for Trent Seaborn and Elijah Haven.
All right, Bama fans, big news coming out of the weekend. This is what happens when you start clicking on offense, start winning some ball games. You got some flips, you got some predictions. How are we feeling, Alabama fans? Talk to Steve and I, comment section below.